What's going on, everybody? Happy 60th birthday to legendary rapper, entrepreneur, producer, and actor Dr. Dre. Your boy X-Men 1991 coming to you back again with another video. It's time to reveal my top 15 black sitcoms of the 2000s, while it's still Black History Month. Hope you all enjoyed my top 15 black sitcoms of the 1990s. Some of y'all liked it, some of y'all didn't. You know how these things go. In the 2000s, black sitcoms was still popping, but it wasn't as popping as it was back in the 90s. So this is my top 15 black sitcoms of the 2000s. So without further ado, I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's just get right into the list. Number 15, Method and Red. Once again, I have Method and Red low on one of my lists. First, my top 20 shows from Fox, then my top 20 shows from 2004, and now this. You already know why I can't put it higher than 15, because it's the shortest running show on this list. We all know this was about Method Man and Red Man playing fictional versions of themselves, living in a white suburban neighborhood in New Jersey. It ran from June 16 to September 15, 2004, airing 9 out of the 13 episodes that were made. Like I said in previous videos, if Fox would have trusted Red, Meth, and the crew and let them control the show the way they wanted to control it, Method and Red would have lasted for at least 3 or 4 seasons instead of 9 episodes. And the laugh track pretty much fucked up the show. And the editing was terrible, especially with the fast forward effect. After the pilot episode aired, Method Man was interviewed by many public media and told fans of both himself and Red Man to skip out on watching the show entirely. But me being a hardcore fan of these two, I decided to watch the show anyway. Because I thought it was nice for them to have their own TV show, especially after they did How High, and especially after they did that pilot episode of the show Stung. But this is probably the last time I'm going to talk about Method and Red in one of my videos. I'm planning to do a review on it on the anniversary of it, which is June 16th. I was going to do a review on it last year on the 20th anniversary, but I was out of town. But I got nothing more to say about the show. It's still funny to me. If you want to watch it, the entire series is on YouTube, and I recommend y'all checking it out. And the theme song still slaps 20 years later. But Fox did this show dirty. Same with this show. Number 14, Wanda at Large. This show was about Wanda Sykes playing Wanda Hawkins, a former governor who decided to become a stand-up comedian. The first season aired on Wednesday nights, premiering on March 26, with the second season airing in the Friday night death slot from September 19 to November 7, 2003, with 5 episodes remaining unaired until TV One aired them on July 4th of 2006. If the show would have got picked up by UPN or the WB, it would have lasted for at least 4 or 5 seasons instead of 2. Even Wanda Sykes herself said she wished the show would have aired on UPN or the WB instead of Fox. Because like I said, Fox did this show dirty. Damn you, Fox, for canceling this show. And a little fun fact, Method Man wrote and performed the theme song of Wanda at Large. Wanda at Large was still a good show, and it sucks that Fox did it dirty. Number 13, The Tracy Morgan Show. This show was about Tracy Morgan playing Tracy Mitchell, who the owner of an auto repair garage. He lives with his wife, Alicia, two sons, a teenager named Derek, and a 7-year-old named Jimmy. The show had an amazing cast. Tracy Morgan, Tamala Jones, who's known as Dewana from Next Friday, Mark John Jeffries, Bobby J. Thompson, Heavy D, and John Witherspoon. It ran for only one season and 18 episodes, with two remaining unaired from December 2nd, 2003 to March 20th, 2004. TV One did air the unaired two episodes in 2010. I feel bad for Tracy Morgan that he was just getting his own sitcom started and NBC had the nerve to cancel it. They do have all the episodes on YouTube because I was watching a few of them today. Number 12, All About the Andersons. This show is about Anthony Anderson playing a fictional version of himself, a single father and a struggled actor who moves back in home with his parents. The WB did this show dirty too. It only ran for one season and 16 episodes. From September 12, 2003 to February 12, 2004. I also feel bad for Anthony Anderson. He was getting his own sitcom started and the WB canceled it. But it was still a good show regardless, even though it didn't last long. Number 11, Romeo. Who never knew that Romeo Miller would get his own sitcom? In my opinion, Bow Wow should have got his own sitcom first before Romeo, because you know Bow Weezy was bigger than Romeo in the 2000s. But it is what it is. This was about Romeo Miller playing a fictional version of himself as Ro, an 11-year-old rapper who has his own band called Pieces of the Puzzle, along with his big sister Jody, his adopted brother Louis, and his little brother Gary. Romeo ran for 3 seasons and 53 episodes from September 13, 2003 to July 23, 2006, with reruns airing on Nickelodeon until October 4, 2007, and reruns airing on BET and The End until December 26, Kwanzaa 2008. I definitely enjoyed the Romeo show, even though the acting was kind of bad on that show. But it was still one of the best shows to exist on Nickelodeon. If you want to watch the Romeo show, the entire series is on YouTube as well. And the theme song still goes hard 22 years later. Now it's time for my top 10 black sitcoms of the 2000s. Number 10, Nickelodeon did this show dirty. Taina. This show was about a 15-year-old named Taina Morals dreams becoming a singer and an actress. This show only ran for 2 seasons, from January 14, 2001 to May 11, 2002. The show aired part of Nickelodeon's Saturday night block Snick, especially during the 2nd season. This was another Nickelodeon sitcom that features a black cast. After Cousin Skeeter, Keenan and Kel, and My Brother and Me. I feel like the WB or UPN should have picked it up after Nickelodeon canceled it. But yeah, Taina, it was still a great show. I just can't believe that Nickelodeon canceled after 2 seasons. That's just unbelievable. Number 9, Everybody Hates Chris. Everybody Hates Chris. We all know this show was based on the real life teenage life of Chris Rock, living in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, New York between 1982 and 1987. The first season aired on UPN, and after UPN and the WB was merged into the CW, the last 3 seasons aired on the CW from 2005 to 2009. This show had an amazing cast. Terry Crews, Tashina Arnold, Taquan Richmond, Amani Hakim, Vince Martella, and of course Tyler James Williams, who played young Chris Rock. One of my favorite lines from Everybody Hates Chris was from Tashina Arnold's character Rochelle, where she wakes up Chris and tells him to wipe the piss off the toilet seat. That is my favorite line right there. Chris, get in the bathroom and wipe the pee off the toilet seat. Everybody Hates Chris will be 20 years old in September. Number 8, Eve. Another rapper having her own television sitcom. Besides Will Smith, besides Queen Latifah, LL Cool J, Romeo, and Method Man and Redman, Eve was another rapper to have her own sitcom. This show ran for 3 seasons on UPN from September 15, 2003 to May 11, 2006. It was very nice for Eve to have her own television sitcom. Even though despite that it suffered low viewership, in spite of its high ratings among young African American women, it was canceled following UPN and the WB's merger into the CW in 2006. But either way, Eve was still a great show. And of course, the theme song was written and performed by Missy Elliott. Number 7, another black sitcom that aired on UPN, All of Us. This show is based on the domestic situation of Will and Jada Pinkett Smith. This show ran for 4 seasons and 88 episodes. I believe the first 2 seasons aired on UPN from September 16, 2003 to May 15, 2006. Well, the first 3 seasons aired on UPN, and then the fourth and final season aired on the CW from October 1st, 2006 to May 14, 2007. Yep, All of Us is definitely a great show. It was definitely a great show, and it's definitely a top 10 show on UPN. I'm glad the CW was able to air one more season of the show after UPN and the WB was merged into the CW. Oh, Tisha Campbell's ex-husband Dwayne Martin was on this show, and Lisa Ray. So they both played the role of Jada and Will Smith. Elise Neal was on the show too. And Terry J. Vaughn, who played Lobita Alice A. Jenkins on the Steve Harvey Show, she was on this show too. So it was still a great show nonetheless. Number six, another show that aired on UPN, Half and Half. This show is about half sisters Mona and Dee Dee are virtual strangers who have grown up separately and suddenly become neighbors in a San Francisco apartment building. This show ran for 4 seasons and 91 episodes on UPN from September 23rd, 2002 to May 15, 2006, before UPN and the WB merged into the CW. Half and Half is definitely another top 10 UPN show. It was also the second most watched UPN show in his Monday night lineup next to Girlfriends. The show was almost renewed for a fifth season, but due to the WB and UPN merging into the CW, they canceled that plan. Damn, I would have loved to see a fifth season of Half and Half. Oh man, but it was still a great show though. Now it's time for my top 5 black sitcoms of the 2000s. Number 5, My Wife and Kids. What can I say about My Wife and Kids? It is definitely one of the best sitcoms to air on ABC. It ran for 5 seasons and 123 episodes from March 28, 2001 to May 17, 2005. The show had an amazing cast: Damon Wayans, Tisha Campbell, Jennifer Freeman, George Orgord II. Such a great cast, man. Next year, this show will be 25 years old. I'm still trying to find that episode where Damon Wayans tell Jennifer Freeman, "I'm not a fart, you just don't." I'm still trying to find that episode. Let me know in the comments down below, which episode is it where Damon Wayans saying, "I'm not a fart, you just don't." Please let me know in the comments so I can watch that episode. That is a funny line. And now Damon Wayans has a new show on CBS along with his son. But yeah, My Wife and Kids is definitely my top 5 black sitcoms of the 2000s. Number 4, That's So Raven. Yeah, y'all thought I forgot about That's So Raven, did you? No. I did not forget to put That's So Raven on this list. This show was originally going to be called Absolutely Sidekick, and Raven-Symoné was originally going to be casted as Chelsea Daniels, but instead they decided to rename the show That's So Raven and cast Raven-Symoné as Raven Baxter. That's So Raven ran for 4 seasons and 100 episodes, the first Disney Channel original show to have 100 episodes, until it was surpassed by Wizards of Waverly Place in 2012. Running from January 17, 2003 to November 10, 2007. After That's So Raven ended, Kyle Massey reprised his role as Corey Baxter in its spin-off show Corey in the House. But yeah, That's So Raven, it deserved to be in my top 5 black sitcoms of the 2000s. And is also in my top 3 of my top 20 TV shows from 2003. And the theme song still slaps 22 years later. And you already know That's So Raven is my number 1 Disney Channel show. Now we're down to my top three black sitcoms of the 2000s. Number three, One on One. This show stars Flex Alexander as a single sportscaster who becomes a full-time father when his ex-wife decides to accept a job out of the country, and his daughter Brianna moves in with him. This show ran for 5 seasons and 113 episodes, from September 3rd, Labor Day 2001 to May 15, 2006. Another show on UPN that ended before that channel and the WB was merged into the CW. And then in 2005, One on One would have a spin-off show called Cuts, which follows Flex's younger brother Kevin Barnes running a local barbershop slash day spa. But yeah, I had to put One on One in my top three because it's one of my favorite shows on UPN. The theme song still slaps 24 years later. And this is another show that will be 25 next year in 2026. And the show premiered the same day Tweed Train died in a car accident on Labor Day 2001. But One on One, it was still a great show. The show still goes on every now and then on Pluto TV. Number two, Girlfriends. It focuses on a mix of black women who faces life's tests and triumphs together. The show ran for 8 seasons and 172 episodes. The first 6 seasons aired on UPN, and then the last two aired on the CW from 9/11/2000 to February 11, 2008. Wow, this show premiered the same day 106 in Park did, 9/11/2000. That's cool. So 9/11 will be 25 years since Girlfriends and 106 in Park premiered. Wow. The show also had an amazing cast such as Tracy Ellis Ross, Golden Brooks, Jill Marie Jones, Reggie Hayes, Percia White, and of course the theme song was written and performed by Angie Stone titled Girlfriends. I cannot wait for the 25th anniversary on 9/11. And now, my number one black sitcom of the 2000s. The Bernie Mac Show. We all know the show was based on Bernie's real life situation. You know, his sister being on drugs and he has to take his three sisters' kids in. The Bernie Mac Show ran for 5 seasons and 104 episodes on Fox from November 14, 2001 to April 14, 2006. Of course, my favorite part of the Bernie Mac Show was when Bernie would break the fourth wall by talking to the television audience, referring to them as America. Come on, America. When I say I want to kill those kids, you know what I mean. It has such an amazing cast. Bernie Mac, Kalita Smith, Camille Wimbush, Dee Dee Davis, and Jeremy Suarez. The Bernie Mac Show never got a proper series finale. It ended on a cliffhanger because we never knew if Bernie and Wanda was going to have a child of their own. And unlike the real Bernie Mac, the character Bernie Mac was married with no children. In real life, he was married with one daughter. And also in real life, he never had a sister. He had brothers in his family. Just to let y'all know. But yep, the Bernie Mac show is my number one show. Black sitcom of the 2000s. And is in my top 10 of my top 20 Fox shows. Rest in peace to Bernie Mac. You are truly missed. That's going to do it for my top 15 black sitcoms of the 2000s. Which black sitcoms of the 2000s are your top 15 or your top 10? Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell for my next video. And I'll catch you on the next one. Or I could review that Bluebell strawberry toaster pastry ice cream tomorrow. We'll see. Until then, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. No more talk.